Alright guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman YouTube channel. Today we've got Zahid in the chair. How you doing, mate?
Very well,
you good? So what are you thinking of doing, mate? What's the plan?
I was going to go for a full transformation. I've been watching your videos. And
okay.
I've been growing my hair out for about a year and a half.
Okay.
I'm becoming quite attached to the man bun.
Okay, yeah.
So I was sort of thinking about going for like a Sergio Ramos kind of...
What's that like now? I haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, he's sort of got the man bun and the beard, but he's sort of faded.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've kind of already gone for that, to be fair.
Right. Okay.
It's just a case of getting the right fade, the right type, and then sort of
matching
it in with the beard.
Right. Okay.
And maybe sort of because I like to have my hair out at work, but it's a bit curly.
Right.
So
Okay.
maybe to sort of control it a little bit as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really control curl, unfortunately. If I could, I would be on a yacht. But I mean, we'll have a little look into what your hair's like in a minute. But when you say you're attached to it, what is it? You're attached to the man, but you're attached to the undercut. You want to kind of go for that.
This is quite clean cut for me.
Okay.
And so when I have my hair out, it does get really unruly.
Yeah.
Especially when it dries down.
Yeah.
And sort of in the office, it could just look really sort of unprofessional.
Okay.
So this is quite easy to do. Sort of have a shower in the morning, wake up, and sort of. It was just more of to sort of clean the lines.
Yeah.
And sort of have a nice little sort of taper fade.
Okay.
I can't seem to find a decent barber to do it. And
right. Okay.
For the show as well, might be something different.
Yeah. Definitely. I don't think we've done one for a while. Maybe I don't know.
I don't remember seeing a man bun.
Have we never done a man bun? No. What? We've never done a man bun? Yeah, wow. Okay. Interesting. I thought we had, mate. To be honest, I've done a load in the shop, so maybe it's just there. But give me an idea what I haven't. Let's have a little look. Oh, that's quite harsh, that man. Okay.
Do you think that's a bit too harsh?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I do. I think you could do it a little bit. I think maybe not as high on that skin. I think would look probably a bit better, mate, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, that's an image that you're seeing there.
Right.
But from a distance, that might just look like you've scalped the sides.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I would do it a bit lower. It's just, again, look, my job is based on my opinion, right? So you could tell me otherwise. It's entirely up to you.
No, I'm happy to obviously go with.
I just think it's a bit too high on the fade. I think it just looks like skin and then hair.
Right.
Whereas I think if you're looking for something that's a bit more faded in a sense, you want to see the fade more than just looking like you've got like nothing. And plus he's got like colour in his hair as well. Okay. So it does look a bit different. You know what I mean? Like when you have colour in there, it shows texture, it shows off like longer strands, things like that as well. Yeah. But I think with yours, I mean, you could definitely do a fade like, but I just think if we were to copy that exact haircut, what you'd end up with is like basically skin to about here and then just a tiniest line there. Right. And that angle he's at there, you might never be caught at that angle again. Okay. And then straight on it'll just look like you've got nothing. Do you know what I mean? So, because angles make a big difference on photographs as well. You know, if you've got an angle where, you know, you look, you know, like that angle there, it's been taken on a professional camera. Mm-hmm. It looks all right. Yeah, it looks fine. But I think from a distance, how does that look straight on? How does that look, this angle here? How does it look when he's looking up? How does it look when he's looking down? There's all these different things that you want to take into account.
I never really took that into consideration.
Why would you? You know, I do because it's my job, but I wouldn't expect you to. That's why we're here. You know, we're here to advise as well as just consult. So, but yeah, I mean, I think if I was you, I think I'd probably take it a bit higher on here if I was you.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that. Do you think
I think so. Yeah, just because I don't know how I'd fade that bit there. I know I might be able to do a decent fade, but that's the one hell of a challenge to try and fade that bit there. Again, you probably end up with a taper like that, so I don't know whether you'd want that, but I think if we were to go just a tiny bit higher, I think it would look better.
And also, is the line straight? Because the previous one,
I'll have a look in a sec. It's a bit higher this side, on that side. So yeah, just a bit higher up, I think would look quite nice. Yeah, I think we'll get the line in perfectly first. You know, we'll get that line absolutely perfectly straight, and then what we'll do, once we get it in, tie it back up, and then we'll do that fade first, and then what we'll do. Let's have a little look at the top now. All right, so let's just see what we're doing with the top. So I just take this out. Good that you're wearing one of these as well. These are good for your hair as well. Let's have a little look at how long your hair actually is. Oh, it's not that long. Okay.
It's slightly long.
It's not. No, it's not. That's short. That's very short. That bit there. Yeah.
It's the longest I've ever had it.
Yeah. Okay. So have you not had this cut at all? The top.
Never.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. That's why it's grown out like this then. Okay, because it's basically just grown out in the stages of where it's at. All right. Oh yeah, you can't wear it down because it's got no shape in it. If it's just been growing out for that long, that's why. Yeah. I thought you might have had a cut. You see,
I was in Kenya for 7 months, so I sort of just let it grow.
Oh, nice.
And when I got back, I sort of became a little bit attached to it. I thought, let me grow it.
It does happen,
doesn't it? It's decent because you can have that sort of mix between having a fade and having long hair. So it's like
you can hide it as well. That's the good thing about it. You can kind of. I mean, I know it's been tied up and stuff, but you can hide it, which is it's good. It just looks like you've got a bit of a kind of tidy sideburn, which is quite nice as well. Okay. What I think you want to do then? God, this is like 2 haircuts in one. This, literally 2 haircuts in one. Okay, so what we need to do is the top on up here, right? It's all growing out in the stage of there's no layering at all. It's all just growing out in one go. So what happens is that's why that's so short. It doesn't look it when it was tied up. It actually looked different. That's very short. That's very long, but it's probably the exact same length. You know what I mean? If you pulled it out, it's exactly the same. It's just grown out the same way. But obviously what it does, because the neckline's so low, it looks really long down the bottom. But actually, if we were to, we could do like a 3 back in size and leave the top. That's how short that is compared to everywhere else. We could do a nice taper on the sides, get rid of this undercut, and you could probably get away with leaving all that. That's how short it is in terms of what you're seeing here compared to what I'm seeing up here. Essentially, we need this top bit to be the longest point, really. You know. So what I would suggest you doing is just trying to balance the haircut as best as you can. My only worry is though how it's going to sit in a bun. That's my only concern. Yeah, because it comes up from here. Mind you, it doesn't come. I don't know. Actually, maybe not. Maybe it'll be okay because of where the undercut is. Might be okay actually. I just don't know that you need a bit more length in it. To be able to cut it into to be able to cut it into like a wearable, because what I've got to try and take into account is I've got to try and take into account a man bun. They're not easy to take into account because that you have to be careful how short you take hair. Absolutely. And I'm talking about like the internal hair that we have to kind of like try and thin out and texturize to make it look nice lying down. That's the thing, because I want it to look good lying down, but I also want it to go up in a bun. That can be quite hard to get the 2 right unless it's really long, you know, unless your hair, and I'm talking about the overall head of hair, including these bits, are long. They're only to there. Do you see what I mean? So if you look at that, if we pull that out, if we were to take away this hair and hide it and show you that, it's not that long. It's long, but it's not that long. It's like a medium length, really.
Yeah, it's quite medium.
But then when you take that away and you show this bit, it looks really long. Just because of how it's grown out. That's all it is. So I'm just hoping that I can try and, I've just got my concerns on, I'll tell you what my concerns are first, right? And I'll tell you what I think the solutions are. Right. Is that my concerns are that because of where the height of the man bun is, we've lost the bottom of the hair. So when it comes to cutting it, we've lost maybe like a quarter of the head of hair that you had, right? If we think about what we're doing. Now, I'm worried that the minute I start taking length off here, it's going to sit too high. And it might look like a bob. That's what I'm worried about, right? Because all this length's coming from up here, not down here, you see. Yeah. So the minute we start sectioning it off to cut it in the way we do, we haven't actually got an awful lot of hair to cut. It's only like maybe almost 3 fingers width on the sides. Right. So the minute I start cutting any hair off, there's not all of this underneath to kind of blend in with it and keep it coming back and stuff, you know? Okay. So I'm a little bit concerned that the minute I take it up on the neck, because we don't have a neckline anymore, it's like the middle of the back of the head, it might look too short. And I think it's going to be hard to balance it with it being so short up here and then obviously the nape being taken off. I just feel like it's going to be quite hard to balance. I don't know whether it's something that you might want to consider. I can always sort of like when it's all done, when it's all sectioned off, I can have a little look at it properly. But I'm just thinking you might want to consider growing the top out a lot more.
I am.
You know what I mean?
I want to go longer.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because taking any length off now, I'll probably regret it because
I know it's so unbalanced, and I know I could probably try and do something with it, but my only worry is because of the curl, the minute you start breaking it up and the minute you start putting it and balancing it, it does tend to shrink, the curl does tend to come out more. I don't think I think you'd massively regret it, and I would, and I'd really beg Liam not to put this video out if that happened, but that's essentially what I want to do, because as much as it does look long now, it's when you take that away. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the only thing. So I could probably try and maybe get away with taking a bit off. Yeah. Just to kind of balance it a bit more, maybe. Yeah, just maybe the ends, you know what I mean? Just like the ends at the bottom, just to try and give you a bit more structure. Because it looks great. You've got lovely hair, man. Like this bit from the front looks great. I just think we could try and do something with this, but then again, let's just bear in mind we still want to do a fade and also a man bun. So it's like, you know, it's like
No,
three
that
eggs
makes sense
almost.
to me.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, what I think we're going to do instead, actually, is we're going to do the top and the man bun first, and then the fade after. All right, because then once it's in the man bun, we can keep it in there then, and I'll be happy that it's staying there as well. All right, so I think we start with that, and then that way, once it's done, we can section it all up. I can get the pattern perfectly right, or the section perfectly right, and then we can fade it in from there. All right,
Yeah,
sweet man. Thank you very much, buddy. Well, let's get you gowned up, and we'll get started. All right. This is definitely a first, isn't it?
I've got a bit nervous when the camera's got on. I've got the camera shut.
Do you know what? I did notice that.
And as soon as sweating buckets.
Right, guys. So wet the majority, basically the man bun down. We've wet this down, right? And normally I would cut this in palm to palm, working all the way through to balance it. But I'm actually not going to do that today. I'm going to do a center part all the way down and take like an upside down Y section, right? That is going to allow me to cut the bottom first and layer everything on top, which is what we need to do. This needs to be the longest point for now. So by doing that, it's going to allow me to do this section. It's going to allow me to keep length in the top and the sides. So what we do is take a section down the middle, so straight from the front. We'll work it all the way down to the back. All the way down. Okay. Once we've got our center part, our middle section, what we do is I'm going to take a section now. My finger is just behind the middle of the ear. And I'm going to work the comb to my middle finger, okay, on a slight angle. There we go. And then I'm going to take that section. Pick it up. Make sure it's nice and straight. Comb the hair into it, like so. Twist it. And section it up, like so. Okay, same the other side. Try and match it up to the other side here. So working it around there, like so. There we go, perfect. Another section. And clip it up, like so. Now I'm going to trim this middle. Now you'll start to see these bits falling out now. These are just basically up the head will be the sections of where the hair's grown out, and they're just the bits from higher up that are coming through shorter. Now, don't forget, when I still wear this in a man bun, it was about here when he came in. So don't want to take a lot off, but we want to take enough off that we're going to see a bit of a difference, okay? I'm going to lose just about that, I think. That'll do. Not too much tension on it. Just enough that it's going to give you a little bit of a noticeable difference, but that's still going to go up into the bun, which is what we want. And I'm pulling this straight down. Okay, I want to leave the length from the sides. I'm pulling this straight back, like so. You just do a cross check and work back on ourselves, like so. But this time from the right hand side. Bring everything back into the middle. So here. This down. Just make sure you tidy the little bits up that we need to. You shouldn't get anything coming off really, because obviously it hasn't been layered yet. So nothing much should come off, maybe just a little ends, but that's about it really. Again, this is very much a very minimal maintenance cut. So I'm hoping not a lot comes off, more just to try and give them a bit more shape really. That's all I want to do. So that's all I think is worth doing today. Just to try and start to build up that length. So literally just the bottom. Because again, your end goal is, you want to keep as much length as there is, right? You want to get that longer hair. So I don't know whether it's worth doing anything else to it just because of how it's grown out where the undercut is. But I think that might be the best option as what we've done today.
To be fair. Would you usually recommend cutting off the ends when growing the hair out, or sort of putting shape into it?
Yeah and no. Some people, so I've got a bit of a mixed opinion about this actually. I'd love to know what people's thoughts are, whether they're the same as me. I'm sure it'll be mixed. So I've heard people say when you're growing your hair, you should get the ends cut off because it helps it grow faster.
That's what
I don't understand how that works because it grows from the root.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how it grows faster. But then I understand the process behind it, where that it will look healthier and it will kind of make it'll grow more balanced. I get that, 100%. I just don't know how it'll go quicker. I don't know if that's maybe maybe that's not the right term. But yeah, it's, you know, I've seen it where I've done clients like say every 8 weeks and they've grown the hair out. I've done clients who've grown it for a year.
Yeah.
No difference.
Really?
Half the time. It just depends on the person, whether they can get away with growing it for that long, half the time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do myself out of any business, but people are different and people's hair grows differently. So like I had a guy who used to work for me and he just grew his hair for a year. We actually refused to cut it. We just said, no, we're not doing it. You want to grow your hair, right? It was a bit of an experiment for us because we were like, well, let's just see how it turns out. And after a year, he got it cut into some shape and he grew it again. And obviously some people come every, like say, month, but that's because they're used to going to the barbers every month. And you're never going to see a change when you keep coming that regularly. More often, like maybe every 12 weeks, 3 months, 12 weeks, something like that, to really see a bit of a difference. That's if you want a haircut that's gonna, if you're enjoying the growing out phase. But if you just want to go from short to long, you kind of just need to leave it.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? Because the more you go in there, but the thing is with the psychology of going to a barbershop, you go in expecting to come out with short hair. And you go into a barbershop and come out with the exact same length hair. Yeah. It's like, what did I go for? But obviously we've done what we can. We've trimmed it to where we feel is the sort of right length and what's necessary for the style you're going for. But it's the psychology behind it is that you're coming out of a barbershop with no difference. You want to see a difference, right? That's kind of what we want. So that's where I think the psychology comes into it. You either just leave it or you just, you come every 3 months, not as regular as some. That's the best thing to do.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But you're lucky because you get the fade done.
A lot of people are growing out their hairs.
Oh God, yeah.
Friends, so there's that sort of argument, should I cut it, should I cut the end?
Yeah.
So that does make sense.
It's each to their own, unfortunately, mate. It's just whatever people want to do. Some people love just going into the barbers. People are just used to it. It's like part and parcel of who they are. Some people don't. Some people are happy just to not go in. I think it just depends on who they are, Right, well, let's get your... do you want to do the bun for me? Do you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
You can do it.
Yeah, can I have one of your bubbles, please? So, thank you. So, where would you like the height of the bun to be? Just like sort of smack bang at the back there, or would you like it a bit lower down? What do you prefer?
A bit lower down.
A bit lower down, okay. Done well to grow out though. I think going to Kenya probably really helped to grow it out,
Obviously there weren't much barbers there, as I was saying, in like a UNESCO
Oh, were you?
Yeah, so it was like really old school. So I
Wow.
just let it alone, let it grow.
Nice, man.
I think my hair was curly. That's like really short.
Yeah, most people don't. That's the funny thing, most people don't. I'm just going to take off this length first to start with. There we go. So I'm going to start on the right hand side as always, and I'll give you a nice fade on the sides, all right? I'll go as high as I can, but just not as high as Sergio Ramos's, just because I think it's a bit high, all right? So a good little tip, put your span of your comb on the line, like that, and you can use that to work up and off. It just stops you from going into where the line is. It works really well on number one. Obviously number twos are quite big guards. It works really well. Stop you from pulling out the section. And put on my number one, my 1.5 guard. So I'll move on to the trimmers now. And shape up the hairline so it'll look really nice. Right, so work on the fade now. So open guard on the BARBERS. I'm going to work up and off, like so. I want to stretch this blend out, but enough that we can still see the disconnection to the top. So we can really see, we don't want to take that away too much, we still want to leave a little bit of darkness in there. But still, that's still blended in, obviously. We've got 1.5 now. Yeah. So what you see is you still see the skin fade, but you don't get that kind of harsh at the scalp. On Sergio's, it's up to about here, the skin, and he's just got that kind of little bit of line there, whereas that looks much better. So it all blends in nicely. So when that's all tied up properly, without the clip in it, you'll see the fade, you'll see the shape, you'll see the detail, and that way you can see the skin fade sitting in there as well. Up and off, line goes in. Skeleton trimmers go on, like so. And then the shavers take down to skin. Now to the number 1 guard. And you just work around. Now same the other side now. Put a little bit of scalp tonic on this as well. A little scalp tonic. What I also do is just, because you're obviously wearing it so tied up for so long, so you're going to work this into your scalp a little bit, okay? Just refresh your scalp. It's really nice.
Smells lovely.
Smells lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah. That is an essence fade.
Nice, Tony. I'm just going to blend it into the beard a bit more now. I want to get it right up so I can see what it looked like. And I'll just blend it down into the beard for you. Let's do here for you as well.
I kind of leave that.
Leave that natural, yeah? Cool, man.
Quite sparse.
Yeah, sure. Here we go. There we go, mate. So let me show you the back and sides now so you can have a little look. So tied it up for you, cut the ends off at the bottom, and then just try to not do as harsh a fade as Ramos, so you still see the shape on the sides and all that kind of thing, so fade right into the beard for you.
It's very clean, very clean.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that way you should be able to keep growing that top out as well. Just need to get everything to balance as best we can.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. There we go, buddy. So paddle brush, what you can do, bit of hairspray on the back of it, like that. And work it over the top like that. And that'll catch any flyaways. Alright, same again.
That's a nifty little trick.
Nifty little trick, innit, mate? Just do that. And that'll just keep them all into place. Keeps it nice and slick as well. Yeah. Cool, innit?
Yeah, I like that.
Thanks, man.
Quality.